Hello, I'm Kate Howell. I teach the relaxation chair yoga class for Jefferson Methodist Hospital headache program. Today, I want to share with you a restorative yoga practice that you can do at home. Restorative yoga is a passive practice. It involves very little to no effort, and we use lots of props to support the body in different positions so that we can focus on mindful breathing, encouraging the body to release tension, soothing the nervous system, and calming the mind. This practice will be about 45 minutes long, and it will include a long period of rest at the end with a guided meditation. Now, there are a few things you'll need before we get started. First, make sure you're wearing comfortable clothing, and make sure you're warm enough. Because this practice is so slow and so still, the body temperature will drop. So long sleeves, socks. Some people like to take jewelry off so that they don't have the distraction or the discomfort as they move along. Then you'll need either a yoga mat or a blanket, something that you can recline on and feel comfortable. I have a yoga mat set up with a soft blanket layered on top, so that's also an option. Next, you'll need 2 small blankets or large bath towels. These Mexican blankets are a perfect size, but you'll want something that you can fold up to a kind of a rectangle magic carpet position. We're going to fold these blankets in different orientations. So take one of your blankets and create this long rectangle, this magic carpet shape, and then lay this down on the floor. Kneel in front of the long end and begin to roll long end to long end. It doesn't have to be an exact measurement, but you're looking for maybe 4 or 5 inches on each fold, so that when you're done, long end to long end, you end up with a snake-like bolster that looks something like this. And I'll refer to this as your bolster as we move through the practice. For now, take that bolster that you've created and lay it across the top third of your mat so that it's intersecting the mat. Your second blanket, you'll fold to about this kind of rectangle, about this size, so that the blanket ends up being just a couple inches thick. And we'll use that in just a moment. So you have 2 small blankets or large towels. Next, you'll need 2 pillows, or at least 2 pillows. If you have more, you can bring them nearby, and then if you'd like extra support, you always have that to grab. But you'll definitely want 2. These are 2 pillows right off the couch. You can use couch pillows or bed pillows or whatever you have nearby. Next, you'll need 2 yoga blocks. Many people don't have yoga blocks at home. So if you don't, no worries. You'll want to find something about this size. So what works really well are large books. You just want to find 2 books that are about the same size, like dictionaries or big cookbooks. Either of those could work well. Next, and this is optional, but you might like to have an eye pillow. And of course, if you don't have an eye pillow, a scarf, something soft to place over your eyes and block out the light might be nice. Now we're getting ourselves set up for our very first posture. We already have our bolster across the top third of the mat. Next, you'll want to place one of your blocks or your books at the top, right in the center. That's where your head is going to go. So you'll take your second blanket and place it gently over that block so that it's soft. It's a soft landing pad for the back of the head. Now, as you get set up, you're going to sit right in the middle of your mat and take your 2 pillows. Place one on either side of the hips. And now recline. Now, when you lie down, this bolster is going to fall under the low tips of your shoulder blades, so that when you open your arms out wide, your arms fall above the bolster. So it may take a little bit of maneuvering to get into that position. When you feel ready, go ahead and support yourself on your elbows as you lie down. Make any adjustments that you need, and carefully release the back of your head to your stack of books or your yoga block. Now, once you arrive, just kind of settle in and notice. If something doesn't feel right, make an adjustment. The bolster should fall underneath the low tips of the shoulder blades to create a lift at the back of the heart. This encourages the muscles across the chest to stretch and the tops of the shoulders to slope down towards the floor. Relax the face and relax the jaw. As we move through practice, just remember that everything I offer here is an invitation to explore. And if something doesn't feel appropriate in your body, don't do it, or change the shape so that it feels just right to you. You're always welcome to keep your eyes open with a soft focus, or to close the eyes. Or if you're in a reclined position, to place your scarf or eye pillow over the eyes to block out the light. Know that that's always available to you at any point. Now here we'll settle in to our heart bench position. I'll refer to this shape as a heart bench because it's a lift. It's a pedestal for the back of the heart. We're beginning with the feet grounded, the feet about hips width distance apart, the knees in line with the hips, so the pelvis is in a rather neutral position. Take a moment here and lengthen your low back. So kind of press into your feet and point your tailbone down to that space between the ankles. And then relax any effort there. So we've just given ourselves maybe a tiny bit more length in the very low back, the lumbar spine. And then we'll just let go that effort so that whatever length we have, we can breathe into without forcing the low back long. Gazing up at the ceiling, eyes opened or closed. Relax the weight of the body and settle here. Start to notice your breath without doing anything to change the breath right away. Just noticing. Noticing the rhythm, the quality of the breath, feeling the movements in the body, the physical body, as the air passes through. And very slowly begin to deepen the breath. And direct your breath down low towards the pelvis, towards the low belly. As you inhale, start to look for a feeling of expansion there, down low. And as you exhale, look for a feeling of release. Inhale, expansion. Exhale, release. Continue to breathe with this awareness. Noticing any shifts in physical sensation at the height of inhale. The feeling of release as you let go the breath, and sensations at the bottom at the depth of exhale. Noticing sensations not just in the front of the body as the belly expands and the navel rises, but also in the back of the body, the low back, shifts in sensation maybe in the hips. Continue to breathe with this awareness. Now noticing not just physical sensation, but also the quality of the inhale. Is there a feeling of fullness or expansion? Is there a feeling of depth? Begin to expand awareness to include not just the low belly, but now also the rib cage, that as you draw breath in, the belly expands and the side ribs expand outward. The back ribs press gently into your bolster. And as you exhale, releasing, side ribs settle in, navel drifts towards spine. At some point, you have the impulse to receive new breath, and you fill up once again. Keeping the jaw and the face relaxed, noticing the throat here is open, the collarbones are broad. And as you continue to breathe, expand your awareness of your breath to include the heart space. As you inhale, fill the low belly, expand the side ribs, and feel the sternum rise and the back of the heart expand towards the mat beneath you. As you exhale, let it all go and empty out from the top to the bottom. The sternum settles towards the heart. The side ribs soften towards the center. The navel drifts towards the spine. And as you continue to breathe, fill up the full container of the torso from the bottom to the top. And exhale, empty from the top to the bottom. Feel into the visceral experience of breath moving through the body. If you are a visual person, it may be helpful here to visualize breath as a color. With each inhale, coloring in the low belly, the rib cage, and the heart space. And with each exhale, draining the color from the heart space, the rib cage, and the belly. Feel into and visualize the breath in the full container of the torso. Now you can keep your feet where they are, or if it feels appropriate for you, walk your feet towards one another. Bring the soles of the feet to touch and allow your knees to drift wide. Now make sure your pillows are really right beside your hips so that when the knees drift wide, the weight of the legs falls into the support of the pillows beside you. If at any point this feels like too much opening in the hips, or if it feels painful or uncomfortable for your knees, then don't do it. But if the knees feel okay and it feels appropriate for the hips, then continue and breathe with awareness, bottom to top, and exhale top to bottom with the body in this new orientation. In restorative yoga, we hold postures for a little bit longer than feels comfortable. Though we want to make the physical body as comfortable and supported as possible, sometimes the discomfort is more in the mind. We're used to moving on rather quickly from one task to the next, and it can be difficult to stay focused, to stay present in one posture when it requires so little effort. If you feel restless or impatient, just know that that can arise and is very common. When we practice yoga, we practice breathing through discomfort. And that means breathing into discomfort as it rises in the physical body, but also as it arises in the mind. Being particularly aware of the moments where you have the impulse to sigh, to yawn, where you have the urge to swallow or to let out some sound like an audible sigh. All of these are indications that the nervous system is down regulating, that the body is responding to what you're asking it to do. And sometimes it takes some time in a particular shape before the body gives in and settles. A few more breaths here. Receive your next inhalation. Open the mouth and exhale. Take your hands down to the outer thighs. And as you're ready, with as little energy as possible, bring your knees towards one another. Now bring the feet wide towards the outer edges of the mat. So you may need to nudge the pillows off to the sides with the feet. Turn your toes in towards one another and allow your knees to drift in. Now we're finding internal rotation in the hips after all of that external rotation. So we're doing the opposite to counter all of that opening we just experienced. You can keep your arms wide open here as you breathe, bringing a little bit more awareness now to the low back as internal rotation creates space in the back of the pelvis and across the sacrum, that flat bone at the very base of the spine. The arms can stay out wide, or if it feels appropriate, bring the arms up towards the ceiling. And now there is some effort here in this shape as we're supporting the weight of the arms. But let your wrists stack over the shoulders and reach the fingertips up. And when you reach up, you'll notice that the space between the shoulder blades rounds into the bolster, that you feel more pressure there. When you're ready, cross your right arm underneath your left arm to give yourself a hug and take your hands to the upper arms and then inch them a little bit further towards the back of the body. Without forcing anything, but finding the range of your movement. Walk the fingertips as far back towards the back of the heart as they go, so long as you can continue to breathe. The elbows point straight up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. And as you breathe here, breathe with more awareness of the back of the body and particularly the space between your shoulder blades. Each inhale creates space between the shoulder blades here, and each exhale, release and soften. If the breath here is labored or forced, or you feel like you can't breathe, unravel the arms. But so long as the breath can move freely, continue a couple more rounds of breath. As you're ready, and with as little energy as possible, unravel the arms. And again, stack your wrists over your shoulders. So with your arms extended towards the ceiling, the palms face one another, almost as though you're holding a beach ball overhead. Really lift the fingertips high towards the ceiling in order to round the space between the shoulder blades more deeply into the bolster beneath you. And when you're ready, cross your left arm underneath your right arm to give yourself a hug. Inch your fingertips towards the back of the body. Wherever they land, inch them a little bit further, again, without forcing anything and without any judgment or criticism, but moving into the end range of your own movement. Wherever they end up landing is okay. The elbows point towards the ceiling and reminding the shoulders to release away from the ears. Breathe into the back of the heart. If the visualization of the breath as a color is helpful, color the space between the shoulder blades with each inhale and drain the color with each exhale. Reminding if anything doesn't seem appropriate to back off, but if the breath moves freely, receive a couple more rounds of breath here, making space at the back of the heart. When you're ready, and with as little energy as possible, unravel the arms, and again, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. And very gently lower the arms down beside the body. Taking your time. Float your knees away from one another so your feet fall back into that neutral hips width distance position. Now extend your left arm out wide so the arm comes out to a T off the edge of the mat. And very gently press into your feet, scoot your hips over to your right side, and then roll onto your left hip and the left side of your body. You may need to adjust a little bit to make sure you don't roll off of your yoga block or your book. You have a pillow beside that left hip, and with as little energy as possible, slide that pillow between your knees. So when you bend your knees, they stack one over the other. Right hip stacks over left. Knees are bent at about a 90-degree angle, and the shins stack one over the other. Now, the left side of the body, that spot right beneath the armpit, is pressing into your bolster. And just notice that sensation. There may be a lot of tension there, and so it may feel very intense. Or for you, this may not be a tender spot, and so it may not feel like much intensity at all. Wherever you're at is okay. We'll give the body a chance to release into the new shape. And again, come back to our breath. Feeling a full inhalation, belly, ribs, and heart space. And a complete exhalation, top to bottom. Some people will want to be very still in this position and focus on breathing through the intensity. If you feel like you could move into a little more sensation with ease, then gently rock further onto your left hip. Very subtle movement, and rock very gently back so the back of the heart leans back towards the mat behind you. Rocking forward onto the left hip and gently rocking back. And continue if that feels interesting to you. Massaging these muscles under the left armpit, along the spine on the left side of the body. Exploring with patience and curiosity, and guided by that fullness of your breath. Finally, be still. Weight on your left hip and left side, left arm extended long out to the left. Reach your right arm out, so right palm comes to rest on top of the left. If you need to make any adjustments to the block under your head, go ahead and do that so that your neck feels long and spacious and your head feels fully supported. Planting the right palm on top of the left, notice we're opening again the space between the shoulder blades. Receive a couple rounds of breath here, expanding back into those back ribs, into that space between shoulder blades, emptying with each exhale. Remembering that you can always use the tool of visualizing breath as color to bring greater awareness and sensation to a particular area of the body. Inhale to color in the back of the heart. Exhale to let it go. Very slowly as you're ready, start to slide your right hand down to the wrist, across the forearm, across the upper arm, so that the elbow lifts towards the ceiling. Slide your right hand to the heart and lean that right shoulder blade back towards the bolster and the mat behind you. Start to roll onto the back of your body so that the heart lifts towards the sky. Now you can stay here with your right hand on the heart. If it feels appropriate, you can continue to expand and reach the right arm out wide to a T, with that right shoulder blade softening towards the floor. Resting weight on your left hip, knees stacked, shins stacked, right hip stacked over left, heart wide open towards the ceiling. If this feels too intense, then stay right hand on the heart, or slide your pillow up towards your right shoulder. And as you extend your right arm, let the back of the forearm or the back of the upper arm rest on your pillow. Gazing here up at the ceiling, if that's okay on the neck. Breathing length into the right side of the body and allowing the weight of the body to be fully supported by the earth beneath you. The softness of your bolster and your pillows. The stability of the block beneath the head. Receiving a few rounds of breath here to give the body a chance to respond to what you're asking it to do. To release and let go of tension across the chest and the upper back. To slow down the heart rate and to slow down the breath. Notice any points where you feel something release. Oftentimes, we don't know where we're holding on to tension until we feel ourselves let go. Because the holding becomes so constant, it feels natural, it's habitual. And it's very difficult to notice that we're doing it at some point. Receive your next inhalation slow through the nostrils. Open the mouth, let it out with a sigh. Continuing to breathe, take your time here. We'll roll onto the back, removing the pillow out from between the knees, out from underneath the shoulder or the right upper arm. Center yourself on your mat. And when you're ready, scoot your hips over to the left long edge of your mat and allow your knees to drift to your right side, rolling onto your right hip, your right side waist, right side ribs, and extend that right arm out to the right with the palm to the sky. Make any adjustments with the block under your right ear, and with as little energy as possible, slide your pillow in between your knees. Stacking left knee on top of right, bending the knees at about a 90-degree angle, stacking the shins, stacking left hip on top of right. With that left hand falling beside you on your mat or your bolster, breathe here. Feel the shift in sensation as we move onto our right side. Now that bolster falls right beneath the right armpit. Notice the feeling of pressure as the weight of the body settles here. And be mindful to let go of anything you're holding on to, any gripping in the shoulders. Relaxing your jaw completely here and coming back to breath. Inflating the full container of the torso and completely releasing with each exhale. Remember that you can be still here and settle into sensation, or you can experiment with very subtle movement, rocking onto your right hip and rocking back so that the back of the heart leans back towards the bolster beneath you. Very gently rocking forward and back changes the pressure point, body on the bolster, and shifts sensation. Noticing areas that feel tender, taking your time, sending the fullness of your breath to intense sensation. Feeling the sense of softness or release with your exhale and allowing that to be a reminder to let go of any gripping, resistance, or holding in the physical body. Finally, allow the body to be still, knees bent at about a 90-degree angle with that pillow between the knees. And reach your left arm over to meet the right. So left palm stacks on top of the right. Make any adjustments to the block beneath your head so you feel supported and at ease, and breathe into the back of your heart. Really getting curious, noticing how the breath creates space in the back of the body. When you're ready, slowly slide the left hand up the wrist, up the forearm, across the elbow and the upper arm. Lifting the left elbow towards the sky as you slide the hand to the heart, allowing the left shoulder blade to drift down towards your bolster, leaning the back of the heart back. And pause here, gazing to the ceiling, and just notice the feeling of rotation through the spine, starting to create space across the heart. And you can keep your hand on your heart, or you can keep going and extend your left arm out to a T, broadening the collarbones, relaxing the shoulder blades, feeling that space, muscles across the chest expand. If this is too much or it feels like a strain on your left shoulder, you can always keep your left hand on your heart, or with as little energy as possible, grab that pillow and bring it up a little bit beside your shoulder so that when you extend your left arm out wide, you have the support of your pillow to fall into. The pillow brings the floor to you, so you don't have to go as far, and then the body feels safe to let go of holding. The body feels safe and supported is important in this practice. Continuing to breathe with awareness of the full container of the torso. Feeling the length down your left side from hip to armpit. And just a few more rounds of breath here. When you're ready, with as little energy as possible, we'll roll onto the right side once again. Bringing the left hand beside the heart. And very gently press down into that left palm. Carefully and slowly peel your way away from the mat, away from the bolster and the blanket and the pillows. We'll climb into a child's pose position. So bringing the lower body into a kneeling position, facing the top of your mat. And take a moment to adjust your props for this shape. Move your bolster off to the side and take your 2 blocks. One of them will stay just where it is, and your second block will come directly in front of your first block, creating an equal sign formation. From there, place your pillows on top, creating a big block pillow stack to support the weight of the body. Bring the knees wide. The toes may come to touch, or there may be some space between the feet. And scoot up as close to your pillow bolster, your pillow block stack as you can get. The pillows may kind of snug here into the inner thighs. And when you're ready, fold forward so that the pillows support the weight of the torso, both the belly and the heart. If you come in and you feel a little too far away, that the belly is not supported, restack your pillows and get a little closer in. As you recline, let your arms fall heavy beside the pillow stack. You have the option of resting your chin or forehead directly on the pillows to keep the back of the neck long, so long as you can breathe, or turning your gaze to either side with the eyes either opened or closed. If you choose the option of turning your gaze to the side, at some point you'll want to switch your gaze to balance out and turn your gaze to the opposite side if it feels appropriate. If there's lots of tension in the neck, this may be very uncomfortable. That's where extra pillows and blankets can be helpful here. You're welcome to take that snake bolster that we created earlier and place it under the forehead, or if that's not high enough, fold it in half for even more height. This way, the back of the neck can stay long and you can continue to breathe as you recline in a child's pose fold. Wherever you are, release the weight of the body. When the belly is compressed, we have more opportunity to expand the breath into the back of the body. So breathing with awareness into the back ribs, the low back, the space between shoulders, and totally releasing breath with each exhale. Using a breath image of color or texture if that feels meaningful, and coloring in the space between the pelvis and the low ribs, coloring in the back ribs, and coloring beneath the shoulder blades with each inhale. Draining that color from the body with each exhale. And if you haven't done so already, switch your gaze. Notice if you're gripping with your hands. Notice if you're holding in your shoulders. Relax any squeezing or clenching in your glutes or in your thighs. Completely release and give over the full weight of your body into the support that's beneath you. Indulging in any instinct or impulse to sigh, releasing sound. Any one of the postures that we've practiced today can stand alone. So if you have only time for one pose each day, remember, child's pose is a very restful posture. You can come here at any point with the support of pillows beneath you. Breathe into the back of the body. Help the body to release some tension. Take your time coming back to neutral and very slowly climbing up to a kneeling position. Walk your hands in towards the knees. Move your pillows out of the way. And we'll make our way into Shavasana, or final rest. So we're going here to take the snake bolster that we started with in the very beginning of practice. Remove everything else off of your mat. Do a little housekeeping here. Take this snake bolster, and we had it lying across the mat, but now we want to bring it vertically down the center of the mat, okay? So that it's right along the center line. Take your second blanket, fold it up. We'll place that folded blanket here right at the top. That will be our pillow. We may need to make adjustments as we come in. The blocks off to the side. The eye pillow nearby so that you can access that if you'd like to put it over the eyes, or your scarf if you're using one. And your pillows, one on either side. Now, turn around so that you're sitting right beneath the end of your bolster. Scoot back so that you can feel it back there behind you. It's right up towards your tailbone. Bring your feet to the floor and take your time. Support yourself. Safely recline. If you need to prop your head a little bit higher, put an extra blanket on top, or use one of the blocks or props you have to support higher, or fold your blanket another time so that you get a higher fold, a higher height under the back of the head, if you know that reclining this way is going to be too low to go. Carefully ease yourself back. Bring the head to your pillow blanket, your blanket behind you, the blanket you're using to support your head. And come in with your knees bent and your feet on the floor to begin. Now, take your hands and slide the hands under your blankets right beneath the neck, and just create a very small ripple in the blanket beneath the neck to fill in that curve. The neck is curvy, the cervical spine has a curve there. So you're going to fill that curve in with a little ripple, little lip. Now we'll take our pillows and snug them in, actually bring them on the mat beneath the knees. And as you're ready, take your time to lengthen both legs with the support of your pillows under the back of the knees. Extending the legs long. Take a moment before you totally release, and if you like to use that eye pillow or scarf, place it over the eyes. Take another moment to make any adjustments here that you need. Any adjustments to your props or your clothing. Any adjustments with your body. Feeling the low back long. Feeling the back of the neck supported and the weight of the head resting and at ease. And then bring the arms beside you with the palms to the sky. Arms not too close in to the sides of the body. So wide enough that there's a little bit of space between arms and body, but not so wide that you feel any stretch across the chest. Relax the jaw, gazing at the ceiling or eyes closed, eye pillow or no eye pillow. Receive your next inhalation slowly through the nostrils. Open the mouth, let the breath out with a sigh. Again, that way, inhale slowly through the nostrils. Open the mouth, let the breath out with a sigh. And once more that way. And as you exhale, letting that final exhalation go, release your body, release the weight of the body into the support that's beneath you. Feeling into all of the points of contact where the body meets the floor or the mat or the props. At each point of contact, release and settle. Settle the heels, the backs of the knees. Release the buttocks. Release the low back. Release the length of the spine from the tailbone up to the base of the skull, and from the base of the skull down to the tailbone. Relaxing low back, mid back, and upper back. Back of the neck. Letting go the full weight of the head, and moving awareness down the front of the body, sweeping awareness down the face. Soften. The front of the throat open to the sky, the collarbones broad. Relax the muscles of the chest. Relax the muscles in the abdomen so that breath can move freely. No effort here to change or manipulate breath, allowing breath now to be natural. Sweep awareness down the legs and totally let go of the weight of legs down to feet. Breath moving freely, no effort. Moving into the open spaces you've created through practice. Now awareness will be directed throughout the physical body, and as body parts are named, feel into that part. Visualize the part if you'd like, and consciously release that part of the body. No holding, no effort. Beginning with the right side. Right hand thumb. Feel it, visualize it, fully release. Index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, armpit, shoulder, right side of the chest, right side of the waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, ankle, top of the foot, sole of the foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Entire right side of the body, feel it, consciously release. Shift awareness to the left side. Left hand thumb, feel it, visualize, release left hand thumb. Index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, armpit, shoulder, left side of the chest, left side of the waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, ankle, top of the foot, sole of the foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, entire left side of the body, feel it and release. Back of the body, heels, calves, backs of the knees, backs of the thighs, buttocks, full length of the spine from tailbone to base of skull, from base of skull down to tailbone, low back, mid back, upper back, back of the neck, back of the head, top of the head, awareness to the crown, very crown of the head, awareness down the front of the body, soft sweep awareness down the eyes, the eyebrows, the space between eyebrows soften, the nose, the mouth, the jaw, the throat, collarbones, right side of the chest, soften, left side of the chest, heart center, upper abdomen, lower abdomen, navel center, soften. Right side of the pelvis, left side of the pelvis, pelvic floor, the entire pelvis, relax, release. Entire right leg and foot, entire left leg and foot, both legs and feet together. Entire right arm and hand, entire left arm and hand, both arms and hands together. Entire right side of the body, entire left side of the body, entire back, entire front, the entire body, the entire body, the entire body. Rest awareness in the entire body. Receive your next inhalation slowly through the nostrils. Open the mouth, let the breath out with a sigh. Again, that way, inhaling slowly through the nostrils, releasing breath slowly with a sigh. And once again, inhale through the nostrils and exhale through the mouth. Repeat this breath pattern as many times as it takes to fully arrive. To climb back to the surface of your awareness, recognize you have been practicing restorative yoga. The practice is complete. And continue to deepen your breath and allow the awareness of your breath, that visceral, physical feeling of breath in the body, to bring your awareness slowly back into physical sensation. Start to invite gentle movement, pointing and flexing the feet, wiggling fingers, shifting the weight, rocking the head side to side gently. Take your time, but allow these gentle, subtle movements to grow. When you feel ready, bending your knees to get the feet grounded on the mat. Carefully moving your pillows out to the side and take your time to roll over onto your side, rolling off of that bolster, just like rolling out of bed. The pillow here beside you, a soft landing pad. Keep your eyes closed, awareness turned inward. Rest in a side-lying position as long as you need, giving yourself as much time as it takes to transition into wakefulness. Very slowly press down into your palms and peel your way up towards a seated position. Take your time, and if you need more time on your side, stay there. But as you're ready to come up, come on up and sit in any comfortable seat, kneeling or cross-legged or even up on your pillow. Sitting upright, notice how you feel. Take hand to heart, hand to abdomen, and feel the movement of breath. Feel the heartbeat. Feel the warmth of the body. Take a moment to thank your body for carrying you through that practice and invite a spirit of gratitude, thanking yourself for creating the time and space to be with movement and breath and stillness. As you're ready, inhale and exhale, sealing this practice with gratitude.